What you are about to listen to is a video I threw together at the last minute so I could have content for my channel. Unlike a lot of it, it is not old content that I'm simply serving up for the first time that I didn't think was good enough. It's instead material I still don't think is good enough, but that I did recently. It deals with the impeachment hearings of Donald Trump, but it's a really cursory sketch of my opinion, and not very well good or sound. I hope no one takes this as the depth that I'm capable of, but I am putting it out there to keep my channel alive, and maybe you'll get something out of it. It isn't the best I can do, and I hope to do better in the future. With all that said, I'll let you go, and enjoy the presentation. Well, it looks like we're in quite a mess again. The great Donald Trump is being impeached. Or is he? The truth of the matter is, the impeachment of Donald Trump does not really interest me. I'm not some superfan who loves Trump in terms of his presidency, but I'm also not someone who is fiercely opposed to him, and I find the whole thing rather trite and meaningless. The one thing I don't really understand is why we should bother with it right now. One can go on about how he has turned his back on our allies, the Kurds, or made the world more dangerous, or corruption, but 2020 is an election year, and I can understand investigating these charges. Should he win a second term? But there is a chance that he will lose the 2020 election. I'm not here to say he will. I'm not declaring right now that Donald Trump has no chance in hell of winning, or he's so evil he won't win, or the American people won't stand for it, or anything like that. I accept that there is a possibility of him winning. I don't really make any sort of predictions this early on who will win and who will lose. But there is also a chance he will lose. Donald Trump supporters don't take that as an offense. It's just the way elections work. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because impeaching a man with only about a year left on his docket seems like a waste of time. After all, the impeachment would not work in such a way that once the articles of impeachment are drawn up, he will be out the door the next day. It could take months to even a year or two to actually have the trial, and if he is not president any longer, the whole thing would seem rather moot. I do think that if you were to take the side of those who oppose Donald Trump, and again, this is for the sake of argument, I'm rather neutral in this concern, a better tactic would be to investigate whether he deserves impeachment, but to forestall the charges until after the election to see if they're needed, and in terms of handling immediate concerns, like him turning his back on our allies, the Kurds, which we keep hearing about, you can do injunctions to block Trump from doing those sorts of actions that aren't as drastic as impeachment, and less disruptive as impeachment would inevitably be. But that's not the route they're going, because they really hate Trump, and people think often with their emotions more so than with reason. I don't really think the impeachment hearings are a good idea. They seem to destabilize the country at a time when an election is coming up which will also destabilize the country. But we are in the world we are in. I don't really like the electoral system of America, but that's for another time. I may go into greater detail on this topic now that I'm getting a little more time, hopefully, fingers crossed, if something else doesn't happen. But really, it only illustrates the folly of man. Well, I don't have much else to say right now, so thank you, God bless, and goodbye.